Hello and a happy Thursday. Oh, I have said Thursday. Wow, it hasn't been Thursday for a couple of months here.
Yeah, it's a good point.
It hasn't been Thursday in a couple of months, and here I was being like, happy Thursday. Wow. Muscle memory is a bitch sometimes, huh?
Also, just memory.
Yeah, just memory. Happy Wednesday, my dudes. It is actually Wednesday, not Thursday. I'm sorry for the confusion. As of like a week ago, I don't know what time is. I don't know what day it is roughly. It's holidays do that.
That's true. It is true. Family does that as well, tied in with the holidays. So,
Mhm.
yeah, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
we'll get past it. We'll be good. Chaplain is here. Our emotional animal is here to get
Oh,
us through it, man.
thank
Get us
God.
through it.
Thank
Oh,
you,
yeah,
Chaplain.
he's gonna interact his little. There you go. His little
He
icon there.
is the emote. Chaplain, you are the emote. You are the moment. Thank you for bringing us all up. Anyway, welcome to Chatting with Doug, where you get to ask Doug the questions that you've always wanted to know the answers to. Um, I see that we are in a level 2 hype train. Thank you all so much. So we are going to jump into the rules so that we can start answering your questions. First and foremost, we give priority to the bit messages since that is some real world money spent. Sometimes we do have time to answer highlighted questions, but that'll happen closer to the end of stream. So save your highlighting for then rather than beginning because I cannot scroll up and see it. Please do not repeat yourself over and over and over again. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do it. Please, no spoilers. People haven't had a chance to see all the latest and greatest things. It has only been like 2 or 3 weeks since Wakanda Forever came out. It has been like only a week or so since Andor came out. So just no spoilers, people. Okay?
And I mean, everyone clearly is excited to talk about Strange World. I mean, both of you that saw it. I mean, we're just so mad excited.
So mad excited. The 4 people who saw it, Doug. It was
Yes.
four.
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
sorry. Oh, it doubled over the week.
It did. It doubled over the weekend. It was 4 people. Um, Please watch the length of your questions. The longer it is, the more likely I have to read it really quick, and then we'll lose the point of the question and I don't have time to repeat it. So shorter and to the point is better. Maybe double check to see if someone else has already sorry, I was looking at something that distracted me. Please make sure to see if maybe someone else hasn't asked the question that you would like to ask. We just feel bad if you're like the third or fourth person to ask Doug, like, what do you think of the Mario movie trailer? And we just have to be like, oh, yeah, we talked about that already. Sorry. So maybe just check that out. Otherwise, I think that's it.
I think we got it. Yeah,
All right.
I think that's it. I think that's
Great.
it.
Awesome.
All right.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. Hello, Doug Hoodwinked Walker. Hello, Heather. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good. Yeah. Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 100 bits. Excuse me, have either of you seen Disenchanted? If so, what are your thoughts? I enjoyed the first movie but was disappointed by the sequel. The story and the music weren't good. I only liked one song in the whole film, Indina's song, Love Power.
I thought it was alright, but I only thought the first one was alright too. So I guess about the same. Did you see it, Heather?
I haven't yet, and I wanted to. We were talking about, because we do tend to watch a lot of movies sometimes with family over like the holiday weekends. And I thought we would watch Disenchanted, but I found out that Lucas and his brother and his mother have all never seen Enchanted. I was like, let's
Oh,
watch Disenchanted, and they were like, we've never seen Enchanted, and I was like, oh, all right. Well, that seems like you probably need to have that context first, so let's not.
probably makes sense. Amy Adams, I'll say that. Pretty good villain. I think she
Okay.
actually played that part pretty good. It'd be cool to see her like in other movies doing that too.
Okay. I'm curious to check it out still. DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. I saw your review on Hoodwinked, and I'm surprised you didn't make a Harvey Weinstein joke since his company did distribute the movie and all.
Yeah, every once in a while you miss the obvious one, and yeah, I missed it there too, man. Sorry. Especially, yeah, like a wolf predator. I could have done something with that, but I guess I didn't.
Pat and Soa, thank you so much for the 1,000 bits. We really
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. Thank you. As I did last month, these bits are solely for the awesome Batman and Robin Part 2 fanscription. Everyone involved, especially Rob and Walter, truly did a great job, and I cannot wait for Part 3.
Yeah, man. It's funny because I'm like halfway through watching it right now
Right.
because
It's a
I'm trying to do
commitment.
it in between work and stuff. Yeah, but I mean, what I like about them is that even though they take a while to watch, they go by fast. Like every
Hmm.
time I check, I think I'm like, oh, I'm only going to be like a third in, and I'm already like halfway. I'm like, wow, okay, so it really flows very naturally, and yeah, no, they're working their asses off on it, so I know they really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. As someone who's seen Puss in Boots: The Last Wish early, I implore you, see Last Wish when it comes out. The animation is fantastic, and the film gets
Hmm.
surprisingly dark.
Okay, it's fine because the animation, it looked like they were trying to go for the original, but then like the budget got cut halfway through, so they're like, oh, we'll try to do this style or whatever. So knowing that that's actually really good, it gives me some hope there. So that's really cool. Yeah, all right, I'll check it out.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. On the final day of No Nut November, here are your rules. Main priority are bit messages, save your highlights for the end, no repeats, you will get a warning next time out, and third offense gets you kicked out. No spoilers, I'm renting Black Adam, lay some smackdown on some candy asses this weekend, and finally, don't be a prick and have fun.
Wow, those are all the rules for just No Nut November. Wow, okay. I thought it was just don't jerk off, but yeah, now I know.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. Have you seen the Nicolas Cage film titled Pig? I picked it up for Black Friday because I've heard nothing but praise for it.
Yeah, it's good. I I don't know. It's one of those where it's like I wish I could say it's great, but it just gave me exactly what I thought it was going to be. But it's done very well, and Cage is great in it. So yeah, it's. I think people are thinking it's John Wick with a pig, and it's not. I think because I knew that going in, I
Yeah,
wasn't like surprised by it. But
yeah.
yeah, everything's done right. That the way it should be done in a film like that.
I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. There was a Mario movie TV spot that revealed more of Mario's voice, and honestly, as someone who already liked it, it started to grow on me more and more. And also, yes, the trailer is phenomenal.
I will say the one bit, and I don't know why, but the one bit that got me really excited watching it was seeing the Rainbow Road. I don't know why. I just saw that. I
That's
just kind of
so
go,
fun.
yeah, like, and I don't know why. Why is that such a big deal? But something about seeing that in the trailer, and that was the big thing at the end. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. They did something right. They really got me hyped for that.
It is nice to see some of the references to the games. So, like, yeah, Rainbow Road was cool. I agree.
Mm.
I agree. Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. I thought about what you said last week about how Myst would be scarier if we didn't see the monsters, but what are we supposed to see when the main characters are attacked? For example, what are we supposed to see when they reach the pharmacy?
Oh, I mean, again, in my opinion, I think just having like fog or smoke or mist or anything like in the shop. I mean, you probably have to do CG, for that, but and just people getting eaten up by it and body parts or eyes or something being thrown out like that. That'd be creepy to me. Even just when they're pulling the guy back and all you see are the legs. That's both kind of funny, but also creepier. Or when the rope is like going up like that, so it's really big. So yeah, I'd honestly just say like the creature would only be in the smoke or maybe creatures. I don't know. That's my take though. A lot of people really like that movie.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. I recently saw a trailer for a Christmas horror parody of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's called The Mean One, and it comes out on December 9th.
Yeah, I just saw that too. I guess it's the same people that was it Blood and Honey or whatever the
Oh,
Winnie the
is
Pooh
it?
one. Yeah, it looks just like the same people, and I haven't even seen that one yet. So I'm just like, man, they must just turn these out really, really quick.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. For the first time, the Food and Drug Administration has approved a lab grown meat company to sell chicken made from animal cells grown in bioreactors. Me. Someone tell Lisa Simpson, Sam Manson, and Chelsea Grayson.
Well, there you go.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. Also, those Snitchel kids from the movie look absolutely terrifying and look
Oh.
hungry for blood with those smiles. I'd say they work well if you replace the twins from The Shining with them.
uh, uh, I can never say it right here. Schnitzel. I think it's schnitzel.
Is it? Okay. I
I
just
think.
I have never seen. Is this a hoodwinked thing?
Yeah, but it's all, you never heard the food schnitzel. You never
Yeah,
heard of
that's a
that?
snitchel. A schnitzel is the food, not chul. It's a Z. A schnitzel.
Oh, maybe I spelled wrong there. Okay. Yeah, in the movie they're referring to schnitzel. Like there's a schnitzel, unless it's called something different in the movie. I thought it
Oh.
was a schnitzel, but maybe it's
Okay.
called something different
Sorry,
in the movie.
they have it spelled like snitchel is what they have it. They have
Gotcha. Okay. Oh,
SNICHEL.
gotcha.
So
Okay.
I didn't realize there was a schnitzel joke in it.
Yeah, and then going in my head, I'm like, wait, was I dyslexic
No.
the whole time
No.
and said it wrong? It's like, no,
I
okay,
didn't.
that was back.
I've never
Okay.
seen the movie. I didn't realize it was the food schnitzel.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it's there's some creepy scenes in that movie.
Okay, great, man. That was like who's on first.
Yeah, right.
Framizer, thank you for the 50 bits. December starts tomorrow. What Christmas movies are on the schedule for Critic this year?
Elf is the next one. And speaking of a clue for next week's review, it's Elf. As soon as I said that, I'm like, oh, well, if somebody asked that, which, okay, so there you go.
I'm sorry. I love when you do that sometimes. It's like, next week's review, a clue. Ooh, here's just what it is. I don't know. Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. In Elementary Season 5, Episode 8, How the Sausage is Made, someone wanted a specific brand of lab-grown meat to be labeled by the FDA as meat substitute rather than meat, so Muslims and Jews could eat it without guilt. What do you two think? And I'm also asking everyone in chat who are of either religion.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I
That sounds
think
okay.
I'm not sure exactly what the restrictions are in terms of religious exemptions or meat substitutions or whatever, but I know some vegans are totally fine eating the lab-grown meats, like not just Beyond Meat, but like lab-grown, because part of veganism is that you're not harming an animal, and that wouldn't be harming an animal if it's grown somewhere. So I cannot speak to the religious aspect of it, but I think it makes sense. If you're a vegan, you might want to eat that.
It's always nice to have options, yeah.
Yeah, and then you can make up your own mind. I think the important part would be labeling it clearly so people know and can make
Yes.
an informed choice.
And judge it the way it's supposed to be judged.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't think Ironheart would have been better served in the Armor Wars movie, because in Black Panther 2, you could have just had any genetic scientist, and in the comics, she's part of the Iron Man supporting cast.
Is Ironheart the scientist flying around at the end?
Yes.
Okay. I thought she was fine. I mean, I'll say this. I had kind of a problem with the first Black Panther 2. It was a little crowded, and I think it doesn't help that, like, the side characters, I think, are a lot more interesting than the main character, but the main character is not bad. But I thought she was fine.
Sorry, I agree. I was taking a sip. Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. From last week, you guys are talking about how difficult it is to make a game, and it is because you will have to learn programming. I had learned 3 programming languages throughout my career. Also, getting a job for a Nintendo and Sony studio is difficult, and you can't make an independent studio for their consoles unless they're approved. The best platforms to get started is Microsoft and Steam.
Woo, nicely done. Okay, good to know.
DJ Lol 5, thank you for the 50 bits. Do you have any hints for next week's review?
No.
Matt Hanna, thank you for the 50 bits. Yay! Peach isn't a damsel, and it's not a dream.
Oh, you have to wait for the sequel in order for it to be a dream. Yeah. Because it's like, Peach is always so boring to me, and I know that's kind of the trope. So there is a part of me, it's like, well, the trope, save the princess, that's the thing. But at the same time, it does make a lot more sense for Luigi to be, because Luigi's always kind of a coward.
I'm so
anyway.
excited to see that.
And, I'll say this too, watching, because I already kind of thought with Mario, and then thinking about with Peach too, I am thinking like, man, if they did get the original voice actors, I don't know how long I could listen to those voices for a whole movie. Like, they're great in little games, like, let's go, or her like, there's something, but a whole movie, I don't know, man. So it's still weird casting choices, but yeah, I don't know if I could go for the original voices for an hour and a half.
I know what, guys. Thank you for the 50 bits. Did you check out the trailer for Cocaine Bear? It's actually a true story and it looks pretty funny. I did. I just got served an ad for it on Twitter and I was like, what is this?
Okay.
It actually looks kind of fun.
Okay. Oh wait. So is Elizabeth Banks directing? Because that's the first thing I popped out. Elizabeth Banks slated to direct a thriller called Cocaine Bear.
I don't know.
This?
Okay. I couldn't tell you.
I mean, it just gets more and more interesting the more I hear about it. So, okay. All right.
You should check out the trailer.
Okay, I will.
Sailor Aaron, thank you so much for that 22-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Frameizer, thank you for the 50 bits. Do you think future Disney Decembers you'll review Disney park rides?
We talked about it. I think if I did, I should probably go there and we should figure out how to do it. Like, do I film the ride? Does that take away from the experience? You know, like if you're filming it, but then also trying to take it in, stuff like that. Do I have to ride them all twice or so? It's like, I don't know. We've talked about it. I don't know how to go about it yet. I'm clearly not against going to Disney World. So we'll see about it.
Commander Hammerhead, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Doug, I have another fanscription idea for JP 30th anniversary. Lost World had a different script in 95. No San Diego Rampage. Instead, a river chase with the T-Rex pair, raptor attack on the high hide, a motorcycle raptor chase, and a pair of camouflaging Carnos. Also, Biosyn is taking the dinosaurs.
Cool. Write it. You clearly have much more of a passion for it than I do. Try it, see what happens.
Danny R, thank you for the 50 bits. I have an idea for a movie called Christmas with the Doug Walkers. It's like Christmas with the Cranks, with effort.
That's nice. Oh, that means a lot. I think you're still comparing me to Christmas with the Cranks, but still, I'll take it. When we shot that review, that did lead to that funny Toys for Tots thing. Now, every time I do the charity shout out for them, I always share that story. So that'll also be in whatever next week's review is.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 50 bits. Not gonna lie, for the Mario movie, Mario rescuing Luigi makes more sense than rescuing a person he has never met before.
There's that too, and it gives them time to connect. They can go on the mission together and get chemistry and stuff like that. So yeah, I think when I gave my reaction, I'm like, I liked the idea more, but I'm like, again, just the trope, you know, princess is in our castle. It's a famous line, but I'm like, yeah, just from a movie, it just makes so much more sense, in my opinion.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. For a film everyone was questioning at first, the Mario movie is generating so much real hype. Well done, Illumination and Nintendo.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. Well, I'm trying to think. Okay, aside from the Lorax, I'm trying to think if I've seen like an Illumination film I hated. And it's like, maybe I haven't seen enough of them. I'm trying to think of one. I never did see that Secret Lives of Pets. I think I started and just went, nah, not for me. Turned it off, but I don't remember hating it. So I don't know. I think because we also have the other Mario movie to compare it to, I think everyone's gonna already see it as like a step up. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for it.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 50 bits. I went to see Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio on Sunday, and I will say that it is definitely worth seeing in the cinemas.
Okay, that's another one where I'm like, did that come out? Is that on Netflix? Is it on the big screen? So, okay, knowing that, I will try to check that out on the big screen because that, most of his movies are amazing on the big screen anyway. So yeah, stop motion. I bet that'll be really cool.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. Hiya, Doug and Heather. Have you seen that weekday show on Netflix starring Catherine Zeta-Jones? You know, the one that came out last Wednesday?
Mm-hmm. I think I'm more than halfway through it. It's funny because it's clearly Addams Family, Riverdale, and Harry Potter.
Oh my God.
I like it when it's Addams Family, and I surprisingly like it when it's Harry Potter. I don't get into it when it's Riverdale, man. And I get again, I get the tropes, I get what it's doing, but because Adam's Family is so smart and so aware, self-aware too,
Yeah.
it's like, man, I you could have done this and kind of turned into like a parody of it, but because it's trying to legit be Riverdale as well, there's so many things that don't add up in terms of the tone and stuff. So that drives me a little nuts. But at the same time, knowing that does take away like half the criticism I would give something Adams Family related. Like, oh yeah, but it's like I know how this shit works and I know what's fun about it. So it's like, okay, it's not for me, but it's like, yeah, okay, like I give it a little bit more of a pass. Oh, and the actress playing Wednesday is really, really good. She can so easily be one note and she doesn't. Like I legit want to know what she's gonna do next, even though she has like almost one expression throughout the whole thing. And like that's impressive.
Danny R, thank you for the 50 bits. I'm sure you've already been asked this, but did you see A Christmas Story Christmas? Other than a couple of daydreams, I loved it.
It was much better than I thought it was gonna be. Um it's a perfect half and half movie. Half of it, I agree, is actually really good. I like how it tries to kind of move on and show his life after that and what he's become and everything. But then the other half is all those crappy callbacks, and they're just so shoved in your face and so corny and annoying that it really took away from it. But it's still, you know, probably the best Christmas story spin-off from the original. I mean, I know there's other movies that have nothing to do with Christmas, but in terms of like the Christmas Story name, yeah, it's probably the best thing to come from it.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. When Decker Shadow reviewed Lord of War, he claimed he applied to Channel Awesome twice but was rejected both times. Was it because you didn't have the budget to hire him, or was it something else?
What was the name of the person?
Decker Shadow.
It's not ringing a bell. Also, I didn't look over the submissions, so yeah, I'm sorry. We also, I think we got like something like 1,000 at the time. So yeah, I don't even know if the people that looked it over would remember. But I'm glad. Sounds like he's doing well, so that's awesome.
Frameiser, thank you for the 50 bits. Is there a reason you don't do NC reviews of streaming channel movies? Is it copyright or a hard time editing?
Uh, it's getting a copy, but it's also it's something where it's like to be more careful if we can actually like buy the physical copy and own it. There's a little bit, I mean, it's fair use, we can review it and some and stuff like that, but there's something about when you're downloading something that you're not supposed to download, you're supposed to just stream it. It's like it's still fair use, but there's a little less wiggle room, if that makes sense. So we just it's probably okay, but we just want to be super careful with it. So yeah, we do wait for it to come out like on some kind of physical media.
I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, what did you think of Strange World? I thought it was okay. I liked the LGBT representation and wasn't expecting the twist.
And that was a good twist. Everything around the world was cool. And it's called Strange World, so that makes sense. Everything else wasn't bad. It was just so generic to me. The characters I thought were very generic. The problems were very generic. The dialogue was very generic. So yeah, I didn't like hate it or anything. I mean, I did get a cool world in there, much more than Lightyear, But yeah, I thought it was sadly kind of forgettable.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, you wonderful duo known as Doug and Heather. I hope you two and the rest of the CA crew had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good, full from Thanksgiving.
Definitely. From my 3 Thanksgivings, I'm full.
Man, shit.
Bernsey, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Doug, instead of doing a deep dive on an actor, could you make a video beginning kind of like, I really like Clint Eastwood. Anyway, here's a movie he was in, and go on with the review?
I mean, I feel like I do that sometimes. I'll be like, I really like Tim Burton. Here's a movie he directed, and just sometimes that's just the beginning of the review. So I feel like I've done something like that.
Bernsey, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Heather, I'm very excited because where I live, we're decorating our Christmas tree this Friday afternoon with hot chocolate. Yay!
You're decorating with hot chocolate? Doesn't that get it all brown?
Oh my gosh, Doug. You can't take everything so literally, okay?
I can and I will.
That sounds really great, Brinzy. I hope you have a wonderful time. We're holding off on decorating a little bit because my mother-in-law is going to be coming into town again next week, and so we're just going to wait for her to decorate the tree. So we can all do it together as a family.
Yeah, looking to get in our tree. Yeah, we waited way too long last year, and we got the tiniest piece of shit. And literally the first day we had it up, it fell over. I'm like, nah, fuck it. And we threw it out. I mean, it was like a couple days before Christmas. I don't even know why we went and got it at that point.
Danny R., thank you for the 50 bits. Twitch story time. Once upon a time, there was an evil king, Doug Walker, who ruled over the land of Twitchia. And I think this is many parts, so we'll hear more of it later.
Well, can't wait to hear more. He sounds like a great guy.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. I have seen the entirety of What If Tim Burton directed Batman and Robin Part 1. I intend to save parts 1 and 2 for when Part 3 comes out.
Oh, okay. Well, if you saw Part 1, why would you wait for Part 1 and 2? But I know what you're saying. And I'm pretty sure once Part 3 comes out, they're probably going to do like a mesh of them all together too, which, well, that'd be like 8 hours or something. I don't know, but I bet people will really like it.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. I honestly think if the writers did one more rewrite of the script of Strange World, it could have been a solid Disney film. All the pieces were there, it was just poorly executed.
I agree. And again, the characters aren't bad, they're just very meh. They're very forgettable. So yeah, I think if you sort of tweak them up a little bit, that might have helped. Because yeah, I agree. The world was really cool. It's kind of different for Disney too. Only once in a while do they do these kind of sci-fi exploring movies. So yeah, I agree. And usually when they do, they don't work or they don't get a crowd, like Black Hole and Atlantis and Treasure Planet. Like all of them, I think were box office poisons, sadly.
Kevin Lane would like to clarify that they didn't see Part 1 in its entirety.
Oh, so gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
DJ Lol 5, thank you for the 100 bits. Could you say some of Mario's lines from the movie, but as Tina from Bob's Burgers with the awkward laugh and all?
I'm trying to remember the lines. Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
He doesn't let's go.
Let's go. And then just every time he jumps, just ha, ha, ha. There you go.
I love the ha, ha. Talking Up Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Heather, are we or will we be at the point where studios will stop trying to cram Harry Potter, Umbrella Academy themes in every team-related content like they did with the Wednesday Addams series? Because it's played out. I don't think so. I think it's just a trope that's around in young adult media, mainly because it's geared toward an audience of people who are young adults who are either in high school and that's just the environment they know the most, or who are in college and that's the environment they know the most. Especially things like Umbrella Academy where the parents aren't really involved because that's part of the, like, I don't want to say fantasy aspect of it, but kind of like, I'm sure young adults who are like in middle school or high school dream about like, oh, what if I went to this faraway academy where like, because I have to go to school because I'm still a kid. But like my parents weren't there and there's magic and there's drama. Like that kind of thing has been around forever.
Yeah, it's kind of like saying you think they were going to do a kids movie that's not about kids. It's like, well, sure, but that's still going to be crazy popular because the kids are going to identify with that like instantly, you know? So it's the same thing. Kids, you know, if you're writing something for kids, kids go to school, young adults and all that stuff. So yeah, it makes sense.
Matt Hanna, thank you for the 50 bits. Have you seen the new Mickey Mouse documentary?
No, not yet. It'll probably be a bit too. Like I said, I'm still doing the Disney Decembers and stuff, and I got saved on my list though.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. Since Thanksgiving was last week, what you like to do on Thanksgiving? I like to make my family's banana pudding and watch football. I usually wear my Falcons gear when they're playing.
We should just go over to my dad's and invite family over, and yeah, that's about it. That's if you know my family, that's enough.
Yeah, right. Like, we also just generally have a family dinner, and depending on if it's my side of the family, we all just sit around and chat with some drinks, or if it's Lucas's side of the family, we tend to watch a movie. So just have dinner and do one of those activities. Yeah. Danny R., thank you for the 50 bits. This is a continuation about the evil king, Doug Walker. The evil king, Doug Walker, told the people, "Nobody but me can be nostalgic. If you are nostalgic without my permission, I will send you to to Canada to star in a PSA.
I don't get why he's called evil. He sounds like a really delightful fellow. I'm not following.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 50 bits. Would you review the sequel to Hoodwinked, since it's supposed to be pretty bad?
We'll see how the first one does. Usually when I do a sequel to something, it doesn't do that great unless it's like a theme month or something. But I've heard a lot of people say the sequel's really bad. So we'll see. I don't know. How can... Like, I like the writing in the first one, but how can it get worse with the animation? That's what I'm curious about.
Pat and Soa, thank you for the 100 bits. Any hints for the Chris movie? Oh, I think they mean Christmas movie for next week. Also, looking forward to Disney-cember.
Thank
Maybe,
you. And
maybe people didn't hear you say it the first time.
yeah, see earlier response.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, how about doing National Geographic for next year's Disney-cember theme? I know that doesn't sound too exciting, but watching programs like Limitless with Chris Hemsworth are not only educational, but also very inspiring. Just an idea.
I'll include it like as one of the shows to watch, but you know, like it'll be available if I want to watch it. But yeah, I don't even have like the tiniest bit of interest in that. I'm sorry.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. Are you still playing Final Fantasy or have you started a new game yet? I don't know if you mean me. I've been playing Final Fantasy VI, which I did finish. And it was fantastic. And probably in a couple of weeks, I'll do Final Fantasy Crisis Core Reunion. Or if you mean Doug and you meant Kingdom Hearts, and if you mean Kingdom Hearts with Doug, he's played some of the games. There are quite a few of them, and you're not...
Yeah,
we're going to do a palate cleanser on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, can we get a clue for the first Christmas NC review for next week?
Okay. It rhymes with elf.
It rhymes with elf. Great. Fantastic. It rhymes with elf. Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. In a recent interview, Antonio Banderas was asked who he wants to be the next Zorro, and he mentioned Tom Holland. I love Tom Holland as much as the next person, but there are so many young Latino actors to choose from, like the guy who played Namor.
Did he really say? That's like, oh my god, that's like the funniest answer ever. That's true. I gotta look that up later. Oh my god, that's hilarious. I'm a Zorro. Swish, swish, swish.
I know. I feel like if I had to cast anyone to be a cool Zorro, I might pick I can't remember his name right now. The kid who plays Miguel in Cobra Kai. Like when he grows up a little bit, he could be pretty
Yeah, I was gonna
suave.
say he still looks pretty young. But I'm with you. If he you let like maybe 10 years pass or something like that. Yeah, no, that'd be cool.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for the Naked Gun or Hot Shots movies.
Maybe like a like one of those compilations, like, you know, sort of review them all in one. That might be an idea. Because there is an art to doing those movies. Siskel and Ebert could never review those movies because they're like, well, you either laugh or you don't. I don't know what else to say about it. And it's like, no, there is an art to it. And they talk about it, but they're like, you know, I know what they're saying. There's no story. There's no arc or anything. It's just here's a bunch of jokes in this, you know, satirical setup. So, yeah, I don't know. That'd be an idea.
Chat, I love you. They're all some of them are making up fake words and other things that rhyme with elf, shelf, stealth, schmelf. That's one of my favorite Christmas movies.
Love schmelf. Schmelf on a shelf.
I love you, chat. Never change. 12. Anyway, that Disney Nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. Hoodwinked is the second ugliest animated film I've ever seen. The first is Chicken Little. However, people in chat are telling me to check out Food Fight.
Oh yeah, that might be the worst animated film I've ever seen. It is shockingly bad.
Danny R, thank you for the 50 bits. The people of Twitchia became depressed as the evil King Doug Walker gave his patented evil laugh while eating all of the spaghetti in the land.
Wow. Okay, I was with him, okay, but eating all the spaghetti, it's
a step too far.
Yeah, that is evil. He's earning up to his name, man. I get it now. I understand.
Bernsey, thank you for the 50 bits. I know you've probably already mentioned this, but will you be reviewing the next greatest Christmas movie ever, Violent Night?
I'm not planning on it. I don't know. Somebody was talking about, like young adult school shows and movies being overdone. I think Violent Santa Claus has finally hit its peak, and that's a great actor, playing that part. I'm sure he's great in the role. I'm sure the movie's fine. I'm just sick of them. I just don't find them that interesting anymore.
Frameiser, thank you for the 50 bits. Trying to make the ultimate Christmas rom-com drinking game. Drop some rules and help me out.
Anytime somebody gets amnesia, anytime there's a gay best friend or a black best friend, anytime somebody from a rich town or household or job goes to a small town that is actually huge and super rich but is trying to get money, yeah, any of those. Oh, and whenever you see red and green, just boom.
Just chug anytime there's red and green on the screen.
Yeah, it literally won't get past the opening credits.
DJ Lol 5, thank you for the 50 bits. Did you watch the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special? I think it's definitely a special that people will watch over the years every Christmas.
No, not yet. I'm gonna watch it for Disney December though. Have you seen it, Heather?
Yeah, you'll enjoy it. That's what we ended up watching at second Thanksgiving.
Okay.
We had
right.
our ham and watched Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
All right, yeah, I'm excited to check it out.
Got some pretty good belly laughs out of me. Some good laughs. I think you'll really enjoy some of the there's a rotoscoped animated parts that I think you'll enjoy.
Ooh, okay. Oh, you got me excited for that. Okay.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. I have an idea for a holiday-themed game about Belsnickel. It probably won't drop until holiday season 2023. It's about a man named Belsnickel who becomes the savior of the holiday season against Krampus, who sets out to bring hell on Earth.
There actually is somebody named Belsnickel. Is this like the Slayer of Krampus or something? Huh.
I have no idea.
Okay, huh. I was not aware. Oh, I guess The Office did something on this character too. Wow, there's so much lore to this character. Okay, it sounds like you have plenty of material to work with.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Out of all the Renaissance artists, who would you want a movie made about today? Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, or Raphael? And yes, I can't help but think of the Ninja Turtles too.
I was gonna say there are more than them, but I mean, I feel like I'd be lying if I said I knew much about Donatello or Raphael. I guess know a little bit about Raphael, but yeah, Leonardo or Michelangelo. There's a really great movie about the painting of the Sistine Chapel called Agony and the Ecstasy. If you haven't seen that, it's about him painting it, and it's really, really great. But yeah, I haven't seen like a definitive Leonardo movie, and that's strange, given everything that he's done. So yeah, I've seen plenty of documentaries, but no movies about him, strangely.
Hewlett fan, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug and Heather, happy Christmas. Just curious, how do you feel about the Mario movie trailer? Honestly, the voice actor for Mario is weak, but Bowser and Peach are amazing. The visuals look incredible, and it blew every expectation I had out of the water. Could it be brilliant?
Well, let's not jump to conclusions.
Right.
But I don't know. It's looking like fun to me. I like to even kind of have that stadium that kind of looks like a Smash Brothers stadium going up against Donkey Kong and everything. So, yeah, I don't know, but I'm curious if that's going to work against it. Is it just going to be going to like fan servicey thing to fan servicey thing with like almost no story whatsoever? Because it's like you need a little bit of a story and character in order to stay invested. And that's my number one fear right now. But I don't know. It's looking good. I hope it's good. I am optimistic, cautiously optimistic.
Celluloid Surfer, thank you for the 50 bits. Christ! I didn't remember the animation for Hoodwinked being that bad. My God!
Yeah, I guess it doesn't help that came out on the same day as the Mario 2, the second trailer for Mario, because that animation looks pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that probably doesn't help in comparison.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. To quote Oscar Wilde, the suspense is terrible. I hope it lasts. I learned its meaning from the Case Closed movie, The Time-Bombed Skyscraper. Do you two understand its meaning, and where did you learn its meaning?
I didn't know it was Oscar Wilde. That's actually interesting. I always heard it from Willy Wonka.
Yes.
And we quote it all the time, too. I had no idea it was Oscar Wilde. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I can pinpoint when I learned its meaning. I think it's just kind of commenting on how people in general do like to feel that sense of suspense and fear every now and then, even if obviously not constantly, but every now and then you can get addicted to that kind of sense of feeling anticipation.
Oh yeah, that's why we go like on roller coasters and see scary movies and stuff like that. Yeah, it's adrenaline rush.
Danny R., thank you for the 50 bits. Soon, the brave and witty knight Sir Malcolm rode into the kingdom looking for food for his horse. Once he figured out the evil King Doug Walker had spaghetti, he rode as fast as he could to the castle of Walker.
He's gonna give the horse spaghetti. Okay, all right. I mean,
Malcolm's done weirder things.
yeah, true.
Alan, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug and Heather, have you watched the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, and will there be a Disney-cember?
There will. I haven't seen it yet, though. So, yeah, I will get around to it. I'm hearing it's good.
LJH, thank you for the 50 bits. Worst version of A Christmas Carol, in your opinion?
Man, it's funny because I'm doing a video on Christmas Carol as well, and it's like, even the bad ones I kind of like, because the story's that good to me. I like seeing different variations, even when it's done terrible. I just love hearing the words. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to find like a really, really like just $0 budget one or something like that. Yeah, because as of now, it's like, I don't know. Okay, the closest I can think of, and I don't hate this movie, but maybe Scrooge, the Albert Finney one. I think he is a very annoying Scrooge, and the movie's very odd. But there are some good songs in it, and it's kind of fun to laugh at.
Doug, I have to share this with you. That Disney nerd just said in response to Malcolm riding his horse for your spaghetti, this is what he wrote. Or they wrote, sorry. His hooves are sweaty, knees weak, Malcolm's heavy. There's doo-doo in his armor already, Doug's spaghetti.
Well, that's just poetry.
I'm sorry, that got me so hard. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Ever watch Dry Bar Comedy or go to Homestar Runner website?
Like years ago.
Like a decade ago.
Yeah, it's still
when it was Trogdor and Strongbad and...
And I think every once in a while it'll pop up like on YouTube, like I think still doing videos. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I saw it in its heyday, and I didn't go to the site often. I think I just looked at when it was on YouTube, you know what I mean? But what I saw was very, very funny.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for the incredible Burt Wonderstone.
God, would anybody? Well, maybe they would watch it. I don't know. That might be one of those movies that's like nostalgic for a certain age now. Yeah, I never did see it. I should probably check it out. Like, yes? Question mark. I didn't hear it was good, but who knows?
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, will you review the Superman animated movie called Superman vs. the Elite? In my opinion, it's as good as Batman Under the Red Hood, basically about does Superman's ideals still work in the modern age?
Man, what Honest Trailers had a great, they did Hancock this week, and they said doing their evil Superman story before it became a genre, and it showed like everybody that's doing it now, and it's like, yeah, man, it really has. So I bet it is good, and I probably should check it out. It's kind of like the Violent Santa Claus thing, though. It's like, yeah, I feel like I'm just kind of done with this concept, but maybe this will win me back. Who knows?
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for the Weird Al movie or the Bob's Burgers movie.
I'm doing a Disney-cember for the Bob's Burgers movie. Yeah, I still haven't seen the Weird Al movie, which is terrible. I should definitely see it, but yeah, everyone says it's great and it's a lot of fun, so I'll definitely see it. I'll see if I can get a review out of it.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for the 2010, The Year We Made Contact.
Oh boy,
The Year We Made Contact 2010, I think is what they're asking about.
The Year We Made Contact. That sounds familiar.
Oh, maybe it's make instead of made. I don't know.
Oh! That's why It's familiar. It's the sequel to 2001. It was made in like 84. But I thought it was a 2010 movie called The Year We Made Contact.
Whoopsies.
No, that's
Whoopsies.
really funny. That's another one I saw years ago. I don't remember it being bad. I don't remember it being good either. I mean, it's a very ambitious thing to take on, isn't it? A sequel to that movie. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it in honestly decades. I probably should give it another shot.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for the Cornetto trilogy.
I did a was it What You Never Knew About It, but actually, again, I'm doing sort of these compilation movies and stuff. That might not be a bad idea, because God, I can talk about those movies forever. So yeah, all right, I'll put that down. Maybe one of those compilation, like just all the Cornetto films.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. Did you guys know that George A. Romero made a commercial? It's known as George A. Romero Biohazard, if you want to give it a go. And yes, it's for Biohazard / Resident Evil 2. Do you mean 7, or is it 2 separate commercials?
Huh. All right. No, I did not know that. I'll try to check it out.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. Gary Turbo says, Jewish people eat kosher and Muslims eat halal. Yes, I know that, but I just don't feel like I know enough about each of their laws to speak to whether or not they morally should be eating fake meat. You know what I mean?
I don't know shit. Yeah, I'm the same.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Most overquoted character or movie?
Overquoted?
Elf.
Man. Well, you're a teacher, so I can see that.
The B movie. No.
Say B movie, probably the other one for you. Man, I'm trying to think. Like, I remember growing up, there's a lot of movies where I'm like, oh my God, stop quoting it. But in all honesty, I probably was the asshole that was constantly quoting something. So, yeah, I don't know if this counts because it's not really from a movie or anything, but when people are just talking a conversation, I feel like people don't do this now, but they do it in movies. Like, this is how people talk. They'll say, spoilers, this happens, or hashtag not caring. Like, those two things, I'm seeing more and more movies, like, writers are like, yeah, this is how people still talk. No, it's not. Stop it.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. After The Dark Knight Rises and the Harley Quinn show, can anyone ever take Bane seriously anymore?
Oh, sure. If he can survive Batman and Robin, he can survive those two.
Right. Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 101 bits. Doug, love the Ed shirt. You're totally rocking that shirt. Also, I wonder if you and Heather can help me with my next anime to watch. I haven't seen either, but I got them blind because of great reviews from peers. Trigun or Wolf's Rain?
Rob would be here praising Trigun. He loves that show. I still haven't seen it terribly. I know it's like one of these shows.
Because I would go over Trigun. I would say Trigun over Wolf's Rain, but I know you... Wait, I might be mixing this up. Do you like Wolf's Rain? You like Wolf's Rain. Right, I was going to say, you love that show, right?
Yeah, like to me, that's on par with Cowboy Bebop.
Right.
For me. Yeah, I haven't seen Trigun though. I should, because everyone says exactly that. It's like one of the animes. So I really should. I've seen clips of it. I mean, it looks cool. But yeah, I should sit down and watch the whole thing.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Man, the music copyright on that they throw a lot of claims at us, man. But on top of that, I don't think I'd have much to say. I get why people do the stuff and they have the screenings and everything, and I love it. I think that's great. It's just not my thing. I don't get into it. I don't know. I guess I'd go to a screening of The Room over Rocky Horror, if that makes sense. Like, that's my kind of fun, stupid theater experience. Where Rocky Horror, I've gone, it's fun. It's definitely a hoot, but it's like, yeah, I just, in terms of like, I can say so much about it. I don't know why. It never quite grabbed me.
Danny R., thank you for the 50 bits. Inside the castle of Walker, the evil king Doug Walker orders his court jester, Rob of Walkerville, to do impressions of Robin Williams trying to sell Jeff Goldblum castle insurance.
But what of the spaghetti? I'm just imagining myself with a giant vault like a Scrooge McDuck vault just filled with spaghetti, like all the town spaghetti, and I dive into it. And I hope that's the route it goes. Malcolm's gonna come in and yeah, he's gonna save the spaghetti. This is the weirdest fucking fairy tale I've heard in my life.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. Here's an idea. What if Judge Doom was related to Doctor Doom?
um, I mean, you never do see him in the same room at the same time.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Ed, Ed, and Eddie?
I've only seen a little bit. That's another one of those shows where it's a little past my time. What I saw looked fun. But yeah, it's a lot of those shows like Dexter's Lab and I don't know, Cow and Chicken and stuff. Like a lot of them. I've seen a little bit about Dexter's Lab and Powerpuff Girls, but the others I only seen like little snippets I don't know much about. But what I saw was fun.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you watch the Bardo False Chronicles trailer?
What's it called?
Bardo, Bardo, False Chronicles. I don't know anything about that one.
Is it Joaquin Phoenix? Who is that? Huh. Okay. Okay. Oh man, the more I'm seeing pictures, the more. Is that Tim Burton? What the fuck is this? Okay, I'm curious. I'll try to check it out.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for the first Home Alone, or Monsters vs. Aliens, or Mars Needs Moms.
We'll do the first Home Alone at some point. We're trying to see if we can do Home Sweet Home Alone this year. But again, because it's on streaming and there's not a physical copy, we're like, do we risk? I mean, again, it's unlikely anything would happen, but it's like, we probably should be careful. So I don't know. But I'll definitely do the first Home Alone at some point because I could definitely say a lot about it. But it probably won't be this year.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for Skyline, Battle Los Angeles, I Am Number 4, or Babylon AD.
I don't think I've seen any of those, man. So probably not, because I'm assuming those are kind of like Asylum type movies, or maybe not, actually. Maybe I just haven't heard of them. But yeah, I don't think they get many clicks. I'm listening. I'm just letting Chaplin out here.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. Out of curiosity, was A Whole New World played over and over again after Aladdin was released? I asked because I wasn't even born yet at that time.
Oh, yeah. Anytime. I think from Beauty and the Beast up until probably Pocahontas, anytime a Disney film came out, they would play the romantic song over and over and over.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was a very common thing.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. It would be cool if John Leguizamo has a cameo in the new Super Mario movie, bringing it full circle.
That would be cool, as well as Bob Hoskins and Dennis Hopper. I'm sure they'd sound great.
Kermit Wazowski, thank you for the 50 bits. I see Dick Ray reached out to you after the commercial special. Do you know if the Tuffy Tiger channel ever found out about that darn cat review was responsible for their subscriber uptick?
All I heard with that is that I guess the people running the channel or who created the character just said on Twitter or something, just like, I have no idea what's going on right now. So that was actually the lead in to when I saw Dick Ray Plumbing didn't have, he had whatever 95 subscribers. I remember the thing with the Tuffy, the tiger. I was just like, yeah, let's put in a joke, just saying we can fix that.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. Do either of you remember a couple of video games called Super Mario World and Primal Rage? My sister and I used to play them when we were little.
Oh yeah. I mean, Super Mario World, that's a classic. And Primal Rage, yeah, I think I played a little bit, not as much as I played Mario World.
Yeah, for sure. Same. Pattinsoa, thank you for the 100 bits. Please look up. Oh no, the bot did a star on this. I don't know if you tried to send the link to this person's Instagram or not, but all I see is star on Instagram. Legit looks like they took Rob and Walter's design for Mr. Freeze. Also, I'm never asking for another preview again.
Yeah, sorry, we can't look it up, but yeah, I don't know.
Danny R, thank you for the 50 bits. When the brave and noble knight of Sir Malcolm met the evil King Doug Walker, he demanded spaghetti for him and the people. The evil King Doug Walker laughed and threw garlic bread at him.
I am riveted hearing this, okay? 'Cause I love stories like this because it's like, I legit don't know where the hell it's gonna go.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits, and I'll read this already. They said I met my sisters. Did I misread something there? And my brain just didn't process that you said my sisters and I?
But now we know.
I'm sorry. I could have sworn I read that, but I must not have. Frost and Hikari Gaming, thank you for the 300 bits. Been on a binge of old reviews. Sadly, I'm a huge fan of Pebble and the Penguin.
If you like it, man. Yeah, we all got stuff we grew up with and can't help but be fans of.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Dark Tune suggestion for Doug. Sweet Temptation from the Cuphead show. It's the episode with the Candy Queen herself, a Baroness von Bonbon. In the game, she was wicked, but in her episode, tee, I shouldn't spoil it.
Huh. Yeah, I never thought about that. A Cuphead episode for Dark Tune. I've only seen a little bit. I liked it fine. But again, I just had so many other things to watch, and yeah, might be an idea.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite Danny DeVito movie that he directed, and favorite Danny DeVito movie performance?
Oh, War of the Roses directing, absolutely. That's his masterpiece. It's so good. And favorite performance? Yeah, I'm trying to think of something where, I mean, and he directed this too. I'll say Hoffa. I don't know. The way he played that role, I thought he was just really interesting, and I got into him a lot. He's a very good actor.
I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. About the upcoming Garfield film, I don't think it will be a liar-revealed story. I think Garfield already knows that his father is a criminal and decides to help him do a milk heist to pay off his debts.
Maybe. I think, didn't Peter Rabbit 2 have the same, story?
Oh, I don't know.
I had to see that. It actually wasn't that bad. But, yeah, it's like, why is this sounding familiar? I'm like, oh, maybe that's why.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Freak Show Cinema for Guillermo del Toro movies, Nightmare Alley, Pan's Labyrinth, or Antlers.
Nightmare Alley might be interesting, because that's my new favorite film of his. I really, really love that one. Yeah, I might do that.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. One must go. Hyper Fangirl, Bill, or the Chart Guys.
Oh, don't make me choose. I mean, if it's the Chart Guys, isn't that losing two? Or are they just so connected they're like one entity?
They're one and the same, Doug.
I'll get rid of them because at least they'll have each other.
Oh, that's sweet. Danny R., thank you for the 50 bits. This is the end of the story. I hope you're ready. Then the brave and noble knight Sir Malcolm said, "Come on, dude." And from that day on, the evil King Doug Walker became the good King Doug Walker. The land of Twitchia from that day on was allowed to be nostalgic and eat spaghetti. The end.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Unexpected as well. And, I could see it happening. The only difference is Malcolm would go, aw, like that. And I'd be like, oh, man, he's right. Everybody, have spaghetti again. It'd be like, oh, thank you. That's our Malcolm impression. Everyone's impression of Malcolm is just going, aw, because he does it so much.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. I advise the two of you to watch Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. My favorite episode would be The Autopsy. Yeah, I really got to get to that one.
I think we started it. It was good. I think it was just it was so miserable and so heavy, and I think both of us were having a bad day. We're just like, I don't want to watch this right now. So we turned it off. But yeah, you're right. We should get back into that.
Mika Ann Arts, thank you for the 100 bits. I just came from watching the Hoodwinked review. I wanted to say thank you for finally taking a look at one of my favorite movies from my childhood.
Yeah, it really is one of those where I remember seeing the ads, and a friend of mine was like, it's actually pretty good. I'm like, yeah, that's cute. That's funny. And she's like, no, it's actually pretty fun. I'm like, you were lying. And she wanted to prove me wrong. She put it on, and it took a little getting used to, but I'm like, all right, no, this writing's not bad.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. On Thanksgiving, my brother, sister, and I tuned into the National Dog Show. We literally audibly screamed when our favorite dog won. It was like our favorite hockey team scored a goal or something. We're weird.
I love that passion. That's
Same.
So cool, man. You do you. That's awesome.
Yeah, take great joy in what you love and be proud of the great joy you take in what you love. Heck yeah. Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. Decker Shadow's real name is Benjamin Robitaille. Robitaille? Sorry.
Well, good to know.
Yeah, I mean, as someone, there's nothing personal at all. As someone who also auditioned for Channel Awesome twice and
Oh,
even got the role a second time, like Doug is just bad with names.
it's so much that when you said it there, I'm like, who is he talking about? Like, oh, the one that was mentioned before.
Right. There's nothing personal. Doug is just bad with names, and like sometimes it's just what happens. You apply for things or you audition for a role and you just don't get it, you know?
Yeah, sorry.
Danny R, thank you for the 50 bits. Any chance you would ever review the movie Basketball? I love that movie, but it's silly.
I never did see it. I know they make fun of it, like sort of like a famous bad movie. So it might be fun to check out because of that.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 200 bits. Doug, I have a charity recommendation for you for this holiday season. Samaritan's Purse Operation Christmas Child. You can send a shoebox filled with small toys, hygiene products, school supplies to children in need.
Man, was it
Samaritan's
Samaritan
Purse
Purse
Operation
Operation
Christmas
Christmas?
Child.
Okay. I will tell you right now, I have Toys for Tots ready to go. I literally just shot the thing for it and everything. I also have to see if it's on Cameo, if they have that charity, but I'll definitely look into it. And even if it turns out like even if it turns out it isn't just a Christmas thing, maybe it's around like all year long and stuff like that. So I'll try and look into it.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, for how much disdain you have for that 70s show, can you at least admit that Red, the dad in the show, is the best character? It's literally Clarence Boddicker, sorry, from RoboCop. How could you not love that?
No, that's what pisses me off about that show. That's a great cast. Like, I am ready to laugh at those people. All of them have good comedic timing. They've all gone on to other things. They've come from great things. They never give them anything funny to say. That pissed me off. So yeah, it's not all that I hate the people. I actually love. It's the superstore of its time. Man, what a great cast and setup of characters. Never given anything funny to say.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. So you bought the little sapling tree from Charlie Brown last year?
That's what everybody said. They're just like, yeah, man, you're a Charlie Brown piece of shit there. I'm just like, yeah, no, that's exactly what it was.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. Here's an idea for a 1st December review. Malcolm and Tamara see critics sad. So they break the emergency snow globe that brings Christmas joy and cheer to the NC.
And it just keeps snowing indoors and it's like an avalanche and they have to get out. It totally backfires. Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. Dom Klein says, chocolate? 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 Chocolate!
Good to know.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. Can we agree the best thing to happen with Mario as of recent is him giving the finger on Twitter?
I think I missed that one.
It was a fake verified account that looked like it was Nintendo of America. Just shared a picture of Mario giving the middle finger, but it was a fake account.
Those are pretty funny. I've heard about some of those, and those are pretty funny.
Danny R, thank you for the 50 bits. No message, just the bits.
Thank you.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. So tomorrow is the first day of Disney-cember. Are you ready for the tens of comments doing on the first day of Disney-cember the critic gave to me?
Yeah, I think like even the on the little Disney-cember preview, there's somebody saying like, get ready for comments just full of those. And it's like, I think it's a fun tradition.
Danny R, thank you for the 50 bits. Have you ever thought about reviewing American Psycho, or at least doing a character dive on Patrick Bateman?
It'd be interesting to do because maybe that might be a good freak show cinema because that's when I first saw it, I didn't know what to think of it. I don't know if I liked it, and then I saw it years later, and I'm just like, shit, this is really fucking good. So yeah, I don't know. That might be an interesting film to do.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. This may sound narrow-minded of me, but I've been obsessed with Undefeatable, the first boss theme for Sonic Frontiers, and it single-handedly bodies the collective soundtracks of Mario, Mega Man, Zelda, and Kingdom Hearts, probably because I've gotten a little emo in me.
Maybe. I don't remember hearing it, so I'll believe you.
Yeah, I love that. A little emo in you. I love that. Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. I meant to ask if Doug was still playing Kingdom Hearts on Friday.
Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're doing a palate cleanser, if you will, this Friday. So definitely tune into that.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. OMG, Doug, you have no idea how long I've waited for you to review my favorite Christmas movie ever, Gelf.
I mean, I don't know why it took me this long. Gelf on a golf, as the toy goes.
Yes. Bernsey, thank you for the 50 bits. Call me Melf one more time. I'm the Melf, playing the Melf disguised as the other Melf.
I like there's a couple references there, crossover. I dig it.
Alan, thank you for the 100 bits. A movie that rhymes with elf. Maybe Jessica Biel's movie Stealth?
God, I forgot that was a thing. You know what? I'm going to change it to that. I mean, it's done. It's upload. I'm going to go and review that right now because that's now an unofficial Christmas movie.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 50 bits. I know the animation in Hoodwinked is rough, but I still find it nostalgic. It always reminded me of those games included with my family's old PC. Good times.
I get that. I hate that kind of animation. I don't like looking at. It looks so lifeless. Which is why in a way, it's like I beat up on it in the review, but I'm like, give them credit. I don't think they had much, and it looked like they were trying to make do with what they have.
Queen Calificent, thank you for the 50 bits. Have you ever seen the video where Kevin Conroy, RIP, dubs a whole bunch of characters in his Batman voice? One of the dubs is him dubbing the scene where Mickey says, "Did somebody say the door to darkness?"
No, but I gotta check that out.
That sounds awesome. I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. Not gonna lie, I feel like I'm the only one that likes Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I love the visuals and the fact that it actually follows the book. However, Gene Wilder is the better Willy Wonka.
Yeah, it was winning me over okay until they actually got to Willy Wonka. I wasn't a fan of Charlie himself, but all the other kids and the world and everything else, like, all right, no, I can see a different take on this, and I think this is kind of cool. But yeah, as soon as Wonka got in there, Depp I thought was so annoying in that role.
Well, and honestly, I think there is a larger group of people than you think that agree with you. I know, guys, who really like the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie with Johnny Depp, partially because it does follow the book. And I understand that as someone who used to teach literature. I understand why you'd want the movie to follow the book, but there's just something so absolutely charming about the Gene Wilder version that really wins it over for me.
What was the stuff with the father in the book? I don't remember that.
I don't remember.
I don't think I think they had that too, and I don't know. Now that just didn't click for me.
GRK Pectus, thank you for the 100 bits. What's your favorite subversion of a trope? I love in Age of Ultron when Ultron just paid Claw no pointless double-cross crap or a villain punishing an informant for no reason. Thank you.
So I think this is done more often now, but at the time, it really caught us off guard in Darkman, where he's got the bad guy hanging upside down, and he's like, do it, drop me, you can't, because if you do, you'll be just as evil as I am, just as terrible as I am, admit it, you couldn't live with yourself. And he drops him. He says, I'm learning to live with a lot of things. I thought both Rob and I were watching. We're like, oh my God, is that nice to see? Because you never see that. And now it's done a lot more to show somebody's a badass and stuff. But at the time, we were really shocked by that. Had a good laugh.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Be honest, people. What if there's a post-credit scene at the end of the Mario movie where Detective Pikachu shows up through a portal? I bet money studios are planning a Smash Bros. Movie because there's a Legend of Zelda movie being planned.
Or if the Schwartz Sonic walks through and they're going to do like a crossover with that, like the animation meets live action, even though Sonic's still animated. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of, or fucking Sora walks through just like, what? Like, how would they even do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm already wondering, like what they do for an after credit sequence. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be interesting.
I really do think they could build to a Super Smash Bros. movie. And it would be pretty easy to have a post-credit scene where like Mario gets like an envelope with the Smash Bros logo. I saw someone else say that in chat, but I also had thought that.
I mean, the coolest, I don't think they're going to do it, but the coolest would be if you see Link and they're hinting at an actual Zelda movie, like an animated Zelda movie that's like the game, looks like the game. It's a totally different tone from Mario. It'd be something new for Illumination to do. It's like, man, how cool would that be?
I know, guys. Thank you for the 50 bits. Did you see Spirited yet? I did. I loved the songs, as well as Farrell's and Reynolds' chemistry.
No, I hear it's okay. It did not look okay, but everybody's telling me it's okay, so I should watch it.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 50 bits. There's going to be a trailer for the new Transformers film tomorrow. Do you think you'll review it?
It's a good question. Probably, well, let me see. If it's something like it's just another spin-off like Bumblebee or something, probably not. But I mean, if it's something starting from scratch, like really starting over, maybe. Because it's always kind of a running joke with the way I review the Transformers movies, because that was technically my first review was the Michael Bay Transformers, but I did kind of in the Chester A. Bum style. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll see when I see the trailer.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Loved last week's commercial special. After seeing the Captain Crunch series of ads, I'd give it 5-7 years until we get a Captain Crunch movie, not a documentary, an hour-and-a-half CG animated adventure, and Tom Holland voices Captain Crunch, just cuz.
That's the first thing I thought when he said Tom Holland, just like, like Tom Holland's going to be the new Chris Pratt. He's just going to be in everything. Yeah, I know. I would almost think a Captain Crunch movie. And actually, you said not a documentary, but it's like, I'd even watch a documentary on that. Actually, I think that'd be pretty fun.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. Matt Gamer says, Bob's Burger is a Disney property? I didn't know that.
Well, because it's owned by Fox. Yeah.
Pat and Soa, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you already decided what the next theme month is?
Yeah, we're going to do the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Sorry.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. Talkative Carl says, be the bee, Heather. No, I refuse. I refuse. Middle schoolers have forever ruined the Bee movie for me. Mustard Man, thank you for the 100 bits. As we kick off another Disney-cember, let us take a moment of silence in remembrance of Doug's brief portrayal of CEO Bob Chapek. Gone, but not forgotten.
I am so frustrated. I mean, I'm sure it's good for Disney, but for all the Disney jokes I could have made in the future, I got one in Anastasia, and that's it. And now I gotta go back to wearing a toupee again. It's terrible. Terrible. Great tragedy.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. When I watching your next review, I gonna sit on a shelf. Just cause. Cause then you'll be an elf?
A schmelf, or whatever words we're using before.
Right. Actually, it's a zelf, Doug.
A zelf, that's right.
I'm really offended that you don't know about that, but fine.
I'm sorry.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 50 bits. I laughed so hard when Tamra kisses Wilkins, but is it me or does it look like Wilkins was eating her face?
Yeah, that's why Rob, I think, actually paused the review and called me up, and it's like I am howling at that kiss. Because and I think when we did, I had to pause and put the camera down because I was laughing. So it was just so unexpected, just it just engulfing her face. Yeah, no, I thought it was very funny.
Bernsey, thank you for the 50 bits. NC for the 2002 movie Lost in La Mancha, the documentary of Terry Gilliam trying to make a mistaken identity time travel Don Quixote movie with Johnny Depp.
I saw that movie. It is interesting. I don't know if I could do an NC on it. And he did eventually get the movie made, which ironically I never did see. I probably should. It looks like fun. But it's a very interesting documentary. And they did another one on the making of 12 Monkeys too. So honestly, that was just going to be the little featurette that goes with the movie. And then when they canceled production, they're like, I don't know, maybe we can just turn this into the movie.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm sure Zack Snyder's remake of Dawn of the Dead is most likely inferior, but credit where it's due. It has an incredible opening credit sequence. I don't think there was never a more perfect use for When the Man Comes Around by Johnny Cash.
Shame, because everybody says it's real good. I never did see that one. I did see the other zombie one he did. What the Army of the Dead? I think something like
Something
that.
like that.
Yeah. But and I did like that. But yeah, I never did see Dawn of the Dead. And I probably should. I've seen the original. I should see that remake because a lot of people say it's really good.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 50 bits. So I made a new character for my series, and I would allow this character to appear in your videos. He's a stupid general with a cyborg mask and Minecraft hammer that hates heroes and wants to be the hero. He's making fun of the general from Sonic 2. I call him General Screwballs.
Well, thank you for the permission. Good to know.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. Dragon's Toy says, if the Brothers Grimm wrote Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Sure.
That would be our evil King Doug story.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. I was trying to connect the dots there. Okay.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 50 bits. Did you see the new Grinch movie trailer? Would you review that sometime next year?
Maybe. I haven't even seen the Winnie the Pooh one yet. I don't know. That might be one of those like just in the moment trailers. I'm trying to stay more away from those. I tried it with the Munsters and like nobody cared. Like everyone talked about the trailer and then just completely forgot about it. So yeah, I think it's got to be something where I legit really want to look it over. Actually, that's not true. I did want to look over the Munsters, which was interesting. But yeah, the mean one looks interesting. We'll see what happens.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Eddie Murphy as Mushu or Eddie Murphy as the donkey from Shrek? Which do you prefer?
Oh, donkey. Yeah, definitely. He can swear as donkey.
Burnsy, thank you for the 50 bits. NC for the 90s Three Musketeers movie with Kiefer Sutherland, Charlie Sheen, and Oliver Platt. Tim Curry and Rebecca De Mornay co-star.
Yeah, maybe. It is a fun movie. And it's hard to say it's like good, but it's definitely a yeah, we just want to do an old-fashioned adventure and just throw everything we can in. Here's a bunch of stars. They all have arcs. They all have stories. They all have blah, blah, blah. And it's almost so crowded by the time you get to the end, it's almost like you almost saw nothing because there was so much thrown at you. But the parts that stand out really do stand out. Tim Curry's just a blast.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 50 bits. I recently watched the Long, Long Man commercials, and I loved them. So funny.
Oh, it's so good, man. Yeah, I think I was showing them last year, and I forgot to work them into last year's commercial special. So I'm like, oh, I can't forget this year.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite George Costanza freakout?
I love when he's got that stupid thing going where he's trying to prove the guy ate his Twix and he's putting so much money in the machine and laying out all these other Twix, and then other people eat them up and the word Twix is just thrown around over and over. Twix, Twix, Twix. And finally he just looks up to the sky and shouts, Twix! That really cracked me up.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm just going to combine these two because I read it already. The I Meant Sisters. Thank you, Heather. You're welcome. Sorry, I misread it. Life happens. Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. For my last bits of the night, there's a wrestler I like named Kid Bandit, and they're a massive anime fan. A part of their gimmick is them writing their opponent's name in a notebook. I assume that's a reference to a movie or TV show I probably have never heard of. What show or movie have a person writing a name in a notebook, and what's it about? It's probably Death Note. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be it. And if you write the name in the book, the Death Note, they die. You can write how they die, and they'll die that way. If you don't write the way they die, they just die of a heart attack.
Mm-hmm. Matt Hanna, thank you for the 50 bits. I was not expecting Mario Kart to appear in the film. It really makes me look forward to it.
Yeah, I hope it's a good thing, because I go squee when I saw Rainbow Road 2, but there's a part of me, I'm like, are they throwing in too much? Is it just going to be fan service? I don't know. That's like my one legit concern, and that won't be the issue at all.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 50 bits. Years ago, you were confused with the Transformers Pretenders in The Revenge of Commercials. The Pretenders you could turn into humans or monsters. They could still transform into vehicles. The toys were a bit confusing. The comics explain it better.
Ah, gotcha. Good to know. I think they, if you ever see these, like, this, was it Behind the Toys or the Toys That Made Us, if they talk about that, making some of these where they're like, I think G.I. Joe, they're like, well, we want to do this toy, this, military and stuff. And it's like, well, toys aren't really the big thing. Maybe if you had like a comic book or something, it's like, well, that's exactly what we're talking about. It's all based on a comic, and they had no comic book planned, but they got the go ahead because of that. So, yeah, the fact that the comic would explain that better, I think makes sense.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 100 bits. Would you ever consider doing a review or editorial on the masterpiece Mary Poppins? That would be cool if you inforated stuff from Saving Mr. Banks, since that movie was about making that film. Those are my top 2 favorite Disney movies of all time. Oh, incorporated. They meant incorporated stuff from Saving Mr. Banks. Got it.
I think I did Disneycember on it, and I think when I did Mary Poppins Returns, I think I sort of really spelled out what works about that movie too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's too much else I can add on top of that. But it is a great film, and I still love watching it every once in a while. I mean, it's just so good. People forget how atmospheric it is, especially in the last third. A lot of those nighttime shots and everything are just so gorgeous.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. Oh, they're adding to the lore of Evil King Doug. Even though they didn't write the original story. That was Danny R.
Okay,
but all right, this is what that Disney Nerd is adding to it. And then the mighty Sir Malcolm choked on a long piece of spaghetti and died immediately. The people mourned him deeply.
Oh, that's sad. What else can you say but aw?
Pat and Soa, thank you for the 150 bits. Man, this month has been tough. We lost Batman and the best Power Ranger ever. Any chance after Christmas we can get another Batman review and maybe the Power Ranger remake?
Why do I feel like something Batman related I'm doing?
I mean, there's Bat-May, obviously, but...
well, I was going to say, too, yeah, maybe just the fanscription, too? I don't know. It's something... I thought I was doing something with Batman, but maybe not.
Playing the Arkham games? No.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Sadly, Kevin Conroy, I feel like that's another one where it's like, I don't know what I could add that everybody else hasn't summed up perfectly. Like all of you, when I read a Batman comic, that's the voice I hear. That's like that's the only thing I can say about it. And that's really the best compliment you can get. I mean, he is the voice of Batman for like most of us. So yeah, I don't know what else I can really add on top of it. It's almost a compliment it's just simple. It's like the one sentence and it's like, but that's it. That's the greatest compliment you can give.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 50 bits. I think you should review Die Hard 2. It's also a Christmas movie.
Yeah, they both end with Let It Snow. And I like Die Hard 3, but there was something disappointing when we got to the end. As you're getting close to the credits, I'm like, they're not going to play Let It Snow. This is the first one to break the tradition, and it did. And then, the movies just go the direction they do. But it's like, oh, you always kind of hoped they were always going to keep that going, like still maybe keep them Christmas movies. But yeah, that one broke it.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. I also watched some of my favorite parts from a childhood movie I grew up with. We're Back, a Dinosaur Story last week. I love the intro of Dream Machine, Louie meeting Cecilia and her backstory, the little girl getting her wish, a Thanksgiving hat, etc. I think it's a decent animated movie.
I couldn't get into it, but I appreciate... what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of the atmosphere. It has good atmosphere. As some of those directors went on to do like Prince of Egypt and stuff like that. Another movie full of great atmosphere. And I just don't think it had a good script or good writing. But I feel like they had like moments planned out, or moments where maybe Spielberg came in and said, make this more more Spielberg-y. And those are actually really good moments. But yeah, I don't think they quite came together.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. You didn't like Superstore?
Oh, and my wife watches it all the time. And that's another one. I want to like it because I like that cast. I like the setup. I like the characters. Just there's never a funny line said. They just never say anything funny.
Hey, we're in another hype train. And thank you all so much. We can spam those Walter Chugga Chugga emotes. Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. This might sound messed up, but I wait for the day I hear someone really doing illegal activities for a Klondike bar, like mugging someone for a Klondike bar. It'd be the best advertisement ever.
Well, best. I don't know. Stocks for that, I imagine, would probably fall, but I don't know how high they are right now.
I just feel like that's something that's kind of a bit that I've seen done before. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, we even when we were kids, we make videos like, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Would you? Let's ask the devil. Would you sell your soul? No. How about for a Klondike bar? Okay. Like we'd always do like everyone I knew like had a version of it pretty much. Yeah, actually, I've never done that for the commercial specials, have I? I should write that down.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for Wally.
uh, I that's another one where I did Disney December, and I am one of those people where I like one half a lot more than the other half. And I don't hate the other half, but it's like, oh, we're at this part now, okay, kind of thing. So I don't think I could add that much to it. I think the Disney December kind of sums it all up.
And I adore Wally, so.
She loves it. Yeah, no, I know there's people that it has like a Criteria edition.
It
now,
just came
right?
out. The Criterion Collection literally came out like 2 weeks ago. I didn't buy it for myself, but I might be getting it for Christmas. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, so it clearly has a diehard fan base, and it's a good movie. I'm not gonna say it's a bad movie at all. I just love that first half so much more than the second half.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. Idea for a review of a movie with gender-bended cast. Have Tamra and Heather as the chart gals.
Excuse me. Maybe we can have them like go into a parallel universe or something like that, or just do like Adventure Time. Just do an episode where everything's switched. I don't know.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 50 bits. Have you seen Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio yet? And if so, what are your thoughts? If not, will you still be doing a review when you do see it?
I'll probably do a review because I am excited to see it. I mean, God, I've seen most of the other Pinocchios that have come out this year for whatever weird reason. There were so many. But I haven't seen it yet. And yeah, I do want to see it. I don't know when I'm going to get around to seeing it because, again, I do have the Disney Decembers and stuff. But yeah, I'll get to it.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, have you ever thought of doing a fanscription on bad Christmas movies, such as Christmas with the Cranks, Deck the Halls, etc.? I mean, I think it would be cool. Try to fix a bad Christmas movie and make it good/decent Christmas movie from your perspective.
No, I'm trying to think of one. Because I do say, like, Christmas with the Cranks is not a bad idea. And even Deck the Halls, you're right, is not a bad idea, like a pitch, these two houses like feuding over like putting up decorations and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I think that kind of setup would rely a lot on not just the story, but the one-liners and the zingers and stuff like that. That's not usually how the fanscriptions work. It's and then this scene happens and we might have a line out of like a conversation that would have like 20 lines, you know what I mean? So yeah, but it's not a bad idea.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 50 bits. Which Adam Sandler 8 Crazy Nights character is the worst? The main character Davy, the old man Whitey, or his sister Eleanor?
So character-wise, the main character, the one that looks like Sandler, just listening-wise, it's the old man. I mean, that is unbearable. And the sister's actually not that bad a character. If for anything else, I still can't believe that's Adam Sandler. It legit really sounds like a different person.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 50 bits. Which Thor movie villain do you like the most? Loki, Hela, or Gore?
Gore's the God Slayer, right?
Yes, it's Christian Bale.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's Loki, but Loki becomes like an anti-hero, so how much does that count?
Yeah,
it counts, though. He is a villain.
I'll say Loki. Yeah, because I'm thinking if you were to have, like, whatever, a series on AFM, and one does, which would you want to see the most? And I'm like, yeah, it's Loki.
KP Kruk, thank you for the 50 bits. I had mentioned it a few months ago, but have you had a chance to check out Riverdance: The Animated Adventure on Netflix? The story is a bit all over the place, but I find the visuals and CG very well done.
No, I must have forgotten about that one, actually. I will write that down so I don't forget. Riverdance, a animated adventure, was that it?
Yes, The Animated Adventure.
Okay, I will try to look that up.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. If you review Vampire's Kiss, you could have a skit where Tamara plays Elva so you can shout to her, "Am I getting through to you, Elva?" Imagine the bloopers from that review.
That's all you have to do. Well, Yeah, this is a Netflix movie. I like never heard of this movie. Okay, huh? I'm sorry. I just thought it'd be like people dancing and animated, but it's like no, it's like this weird kind of reindeer thing. Neat. Um, yeah, I never did do Vampire's Kiss. Right, that's what they said, right?
Yeah.
Vampire's Kiss.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I should do that one. I don't know. I'll get around to it.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. My cheers aren't being processed. Oh no, well, that one got through. You can, since that was a technical issue, you can repeat the questions with cheers that will go through if you would like to, because that's a technical issue. It's not like you're just asking for Doug Senpai's attention. Danny R, thank you for the 50 bits. If the lottery ever gets up to $2 billion again and I win it, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to buy Doug background dancers. Not for the show, but just for real life. I can just imagine Doug at the store and people are following behind him, dancing while he shops.
Doing Riverdance. Yeah. Yeah. And then we'll get an anime movie about it. I love this plan. Win the lottery. Get on it.
KP Kruk, thank you for the 50 bits. On a recent episode from the YouTube channel Upon Friar Review, they reviewed God's Not Dead and picked apart the debate between the student and the professor, played by Kevin Sorbo. They brought up the point about the movie would have been better if the first 20 minutes was the debate and the rest of the movie focused on Sorbo's character dealing with being beaten, that debate, and possible journey on conversion.
I hear there's plenty of other problems with the movie too. I mean, what are they on? Like God's Not Dead 4 or 5? It must not be that good an argument if they have to make so many sequels to keep proving the point.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Oh, sure, now they get processed. What the hell? I'm sorry, sometimes Twitch does little hiccups and I cannot fix that. I'm sorry. Power Gamer, thank you for the 50 bits. We know the cast for most of the major Mario characters, but not Yoshi, so I ask, who should voice him? With how crazy the cast already is, I say the only way Yoshi can truly be brought to life is by the one and only Nicolas Cage.
Oh, Badra! I'm an egg! Give me all the egg! Oh, I'll get this egg. Oh. Yeah, no, do it. Let's make a petition. They'll have like this perfectly fine voice actor ready to go, and it's like, well, everybody wants Nicolas Cage, so yeah, sorry, you're fired. We gotta put Cage in here, and yeah. It'll be a happy ending.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 50 bits. What are your thoughts on the Hawaiian Punch mascot, Punchy? The guy asks people if they want a nice Hawaiian punch and beats the shit out of people whether or not they say yes. If you ask me, he and Wilkins would definitely get along.
Maybe. Yeah, that was a little past my time. I think the first time I saw him, it was like a compilation of like, look at all the times he said this over the years. And I'm just like, who is this guy? So yeah, I was a little late to those.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 50 bits. Have you seen the Guardians holiday special? And if so, what are your thoughts? Will you be doing a Disney December?
I will do a Disney December. I have not seen it yet, though, so check back in.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. Heard that in next week we get Night in the Museum animated movie. Thoughts?
I only saw the first one. I never saw the sequels. I like the first one. It's a cool idea. I think it's such a fun idea. And everybody says the sequels are just so maybe the anime one will be plus.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 50 bits. Outside of Azula, who was your favorite Avatar villain? For me, it's Admiral Zhao. He often gets overlooked, but he was a great starting villain for the show and had a terrific voice performance from Jason Isaacs.
Maybe the, because who counts as a villain? Like, does Zuko count? Does her kind of girl squad count? The two girls that she had by her side? I mean, because I guess no spoiler, but I mean, you kind of know what happens with them. They kind of go back and forth and stuff. So it's like, if I can choose any of them, I mean, Zuko's one of like my all-time favorite characters. So I mean, like, I feel like I gotta say him.
Mm-hmm. Grand Omega, thank you for the 50 bits. I mentioned about the Kirby show. I forgot that there is a 2-part episode that is a Jurassic Park theme that I feel like should also be shown for future Darktoons. The Kirby show has its dark moments that don't look kid-friendly.
All right. Yeah, I'll try to check it out.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 50 bits. What are your thoughts on the two villains in the Anthony Hopkins and Antonio Banderas Mask of Zorro movie?
Oh, I love him. So there's this critic that used to work for The Daily Show. He's very, very funny. I always forget his name. I actually based a good chunk of like my commentary comedy from him in terms of like movies and stuff. But he had a great line about, one that chops off the guy's head and stuff like that. He says, he's great. I don't care that he looks like Celine Dion with a beard. And I'm just like, shit, that's exactly what he looks like. He just totally ruined that villain for me. But yeah, no, I thought they were great.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. It cracks me up that they call the villain of those Captain Crunch ads Squish the Sog Master. I would recommend the name The Dampener. It maintains what he's trying to achieve, and I think it sounds cooler. It's got damn in the name.
You know, you're close because I did put in the special, but that all takes place at Damper Bay. So yeah, they kind of had that joke going.
Danny R, thank you for the 50 bits. Would you ever review either Airheads or Bedazzled? Two great Brendan Fraser movies. So glad he's back and happy.
I never did see Bedazzled. And Airheads, I remember being alright. Yeah, I don't know. That was a thing like in the early 90s where it's like it wasn't a heist movie. It was always like a hostage movie, like, you know, The Chase or The Getaway or something like that, where it's like just people stuck in one place with a gun. And it's usually comedic, but sometimes it wasn't. And I don't know. They always sound interesting, but they're usually pretty boring. So, yeah, and I remember that one getting a few laughs, but not really any hard laughs.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. With the loss of Jason David Frank, have you seen the two wrestlers dressed up as the Green and White Ranger?
No, that's cool, though. That's really, really cool.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 50 bits. Do you watch the Chucky TV series? I swear I'm getting tired of that doll, and I just want him to stay dead, but no, he just keeps coming back. Just die and never come back.
Somebody was bringing it up the stream last night saying it was actually pretty good. No, I haven't seen it. I also want to see the Mark Hamill one at some point because that sounded kind of different. But no, I haven't seen any of that.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. So since you did Dragon Ball Evolution with the help from other creators that are Dragon Ball fans, will you do Netflix Death Note since it's pretty bad? Have you seen all of Death Note anime, or will you need assistance from other fans/creators if you do a review?
I got maybe 4 or 5 episodes into Death Note, and it was good. Nothing wrong with it, you know, just other things got in the way and stuff like that, so I never did finish it. I feel bad because yeah, the movie wasn't good, but it's not good for the same reason something like Last Airbender can never be that good. It's like it's just not a good idea to cram all that in a movie. You're gonna lose stuff. But yeah, honestly, for the goal that, you know, again, a Netflix anime movie, and make this squash all this into a film, it's like I've seen worse attempts like Last Airbender. And the guy's doing okay though. I think he went on to to make like Godzilla versus Kong. So I think he's doing all right.
Pat and Soa, thank you for the 100 bits. Last bits of the night. Any chance we're going to get a first viewing again? Can't explain, but I love watching you and Rob just bounce jokes off each other. Have a great night, you two.
Thank you. So might you too. Only if it feels right, like we know we can get some really good reactions out of it. If they do okay in terms of views, and it's always like, well, okay, should I just do something else instead of this? That might get a few more clicks and stuff. But they're fun. But also, Rob's always like, are we filming? Because I don't want to trim my beard or anything like that. I'm like, no, we're not. It's fine. Come on over. So I think it's got to be one where we know it's going to get like a big, like we knew that Pauly Shore Pinocchio was going to get some good reactions out of us. So I think if we know something like that might happen, we'll do it then.
Manji Dude, thank you for that 2 or 3 month subscription. Welcome back. And they just say, hi, hello, hello. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. For an NC commercials special, you should review the Klondike Bar commercials and show increasingly outrageous things, like have a sketch where Tamara and Malcolm try to assassinate the critic for a Klondike Bar.
Yeah, no, literally somebody brought that up, and I'm like, yeah, I can't believe we haven't done that yet. The tricky thing would be trying to do something different with it, because again, I feel like people must have done something with that before, so we'd have to put like a different spin on it. But yeah, no, I'm down because there's definitely a lot of those.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for Soul Plane.
I never did see that movie. I thought it looked funny. Just the trailer I saw, like, I'm looking at, like, I don't know, this is probably just like an SNL sketch or even a Living Color sketch, but I'm like, it's making me laugh. So I never did see it. I probably should.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. The Game Awards are coming soon. I bet there'll be Kingdom Hearts 4 news. The ultimate pipe dream for me is a Brave Little Toaster's world that takes place at Ernie's disposal, where you fight the magnet and a Yoko Shimomura arrangement of worthless plays all throughout.
Hmm. It would be kind of cool. Yeah, you can have like go to the whatchamacallit, the dump or whatever, where they're throwing all the cars away. You can have
Yeah.
one get knocked out and have the dream sequence where you're fighting the clown and stuff. Yeah, huh, I never thought about that. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah, that would be. Blake the Nothing, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, Heather, what's a good new Christmas movie you've seen released in the last few years?
Man, like last few years. I mean, so I hate to say it, I do love those shitty Christmas rom-coms, and
I don't think
they,
you should be afraid to say that, Doug.
they are totally self-aware, and Netflix especially has it down to a science, and they're hilarious. If you look at the same way Stallone made like the first Expendables, like, is it aware? Like, I'm pretty sure they are. It's like that. It's totally aware. It's having fun with it. I just saw the Lindsay Lohan one, which is fantastic. Was it Castle for Christmas? I think the Carrie Elways one, doing an awful Scottish accent. Absolutely brilliant. Dear Santa, phenomenal. Christmas in Handcuffs, absolute masterpiece. These are really, really great comedies, whatever the intent of them was.
Alexander, thank you for the 50 bits. Hi, Doug. Have you seen Behind the Candelabra? And if so, what are your thoughts? I watched it last night and really loved it. Michael Douglas was outstanding as Liberace. Sorry, just reading that made me giggle.
I was gonna say I didn't even know this was a thing. I'll try to look it up.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 50 bits. A follow-up to my previous question: which villain do you like more, Hela or Gore?
Gore. Yeah, Hella's fun. If anything, I think she's coming around the point where it's like the Marvel villains were finally starting to get good in the MCU. But Gore's just got a lot more going on. He's a more interesting character. I wish there was more of him in the movie, honestly.
Alexander, thank you for the 50 bits. Hi, Doug. I was so pleased to see Fantastic Mr. Fox in the trailer for this year's Disney-cember. I absolutely love that movie. Can't wait to hear your thoughts.
I loved the shit out of it. Like, that is probably my favorite Wes Anderson movie. I know it sounds weird, but the fact that they make them animals totally makes me want to go back and see all his other films again, because that film, weirdly, even though it's a family film, talks about sort of the conflict going on of like nature and nurture. Kind of like your animal instinct and how much you have control over it. Like, I feel like that's what that story is weirdly about, even though it's also just a funny little story about a fox getting chickens and stuff like that. But because it does it in that Wes Anderson style, it actually kind of addresses these things that are really fascinating. And it, like I said, actually makes me want to go back and see his other films again to see if I look at them kind of in that same way.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 50 bits. Thanks to you, you should see how many people subscribe to Dick Ray's channel now.
Oh, I see. It's like over 1,000 now, which is pretty cool. Instinct versus compulsion. That was what I was looking for. Sorry, with Fantastic Mr. Fox. I was trying to think of the pairing there. Sorry.
That's all right. Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. There's a line in the first episode of Wednesday I giggle a bit when Wednesday said she didn't use tech, mostly because of her actress was also in Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous as a media influencer, the one with pink hair, which I found ironic funny.
Also the fact that she's like, I took the train to get here. It's like, yeah, that's technology. Come on. That's what I'm talking about with the inconsistent writing, but it still gets some laughs at me.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Still thinking about your latest commercial special after seeing those freaky Eagle chip ads. Doug, you know damn well that you need to put face on your art wall. Eagle, 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 eagle.
I think somebody sent that to me through a Cameo, actually. Like, he's like, yeah, I don't need you to say anything to me. I just want to make sure you saw this commercial. I was like, okay, I'm doing that.
3M Onion, thank you for the 200 bits. Will you review Wreck-It Ralph and Nostalgia Critic, also with both Sonic and modern Mario movie references in it?
I don't know. It's a good movie. I liked it. Again, I feel like I kind of got everything I need to say about out in the Disney December. So probably not, but we'll see.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 50 bits. Honestly, when it comes to Mario characters that don't have a voice, I want Kristen Shaw as Toadette and
Yeah.
Aquafina as Yoshi. Also, Yoshi's a girl. Boys don't lay eggs. Why does Aquafina Yoshi actually sound perfect?
You know, even if she literally just said Yoshi and nothing else, you're right. It'd kind of be perfect.
Balder Alter Instinct, thank you for the 200 bits. And I think they did have a message that I copied and pasted because I think they didn't know how to add it. Oh my God, for once I can get to a Twitch and there is a sharpened tongue movie critic that I grew up with. And yes, we are both old. Quick question. Henry Cavill is a good actor or just get sympathy from geek audiences?
Oh, I think he's good. He's given bad. Well, I don't know how much you can blame him, but he's given bad performances. There's some times where he's played Superman, and I'm like, that's weird, that's off. But no, you really want to see something fun? Check out. It's a good movie anyway. Count of Monte Cristo. I think that's like his first film, and it's like little baby Superman. It's so adorable. Just this boy comes in, he has no muscles at all, and he talks like this. Yes, father. What am I doing here? Well, he's got the British accent, and it's kind of adorable, but he's legit good in it too.
Kermit Wazowski really just got me in chat. Yoshi is beyond gender. Yoshi is neither male nor female. Yoshi is.
Yoshi just is Yoshi.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. In my view, Zuko was never a true villain. He was an antagonist, but he was not evil or cold-hearted, and he actually became one of the most complex, well-developed Avatar: The Last Airbender characters.
True, and to some degree, you can kind of say that about a lot of the characters. They do give them like a lot of layers and backstory and stuff like that. I mean, even that kind of silly Footloose episode, you know, where it just shows what the kids are raised with. I mean, that shows like, yeah, well, a lot of these people just, this is their environment, this is their culture, this is just how they're going to turn out. So, yeah, you can kind of make that argument for maybe all the characters, honestly.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 50 bits. Of the 4 villains from Legend of Korra, who was your favorite? And I'm gonna mess some of these up because it's been a while since I've seen the show. Amon, Unalaq, Zahir, or Kuvira?
I'll say Amon.
I loved Amon.
Kuvira was the last one, right?
I believe so, yeah.
She was pretty good too. I liked how cold she was. Yeah, Amon's pretty fucking cool.
Alexander, thank you for the 50 bits. Hi, Doug. Did you see the latest episode of Bob's Burgers? It's called Show Mama from the Grave, and it's really good. In my opinion, it has been on a great winning streak so far.
Yeah, I liked it. You know, and it was in some respect kind of a pretty episode too, because they're walking through the graveyard and the sun's going down. I thought they got some really nice colors in there with the sunset. So yeah, it's nice to have like a pretty episode as well.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 50 bits. A while back, I watched The Weirdest Jack and the Beanstalk, and I liked it. I just have one thing to say. Are you happy?
Are you happy? Yeah, I grew up with that, man. I grew up with that weird shit. No wonder I am the way I am.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on The Whale and the Knives Out sequel?
I haven't seen the Knives Out sequel yet. I'm kind of, you know, I don't know if it's a big screen movie, so I don't know if I'll go see it in theaters, but I am kind of excited to see it because I thought the first one was pretty fun. The Whale, I haven't seen anything. You just see Brendan Fraser going, oh, like that, and that's it. So I don't know what to make of it yet. I've seen a few clips from the play, you know, and it looks good, but I know there's good hype around it. I hope that's good. It's not one of those things where it's like it was always going in just trying to be an Oscar movie. You know, I hope that's not the intent, but yeah, you know, I love Brendan Fraser. I think, like everyone, we love the what do we call it? The Brendaissance?
The Brendaissance, yes.
Yeah, it'd be awesome if you know, it was really great and he got nominated, won an Oscar and stuff, but could be terrible. We don't know.
Exile, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, will you do a Nostalgia Critic review of Beowulf, not the animated one, the one with Raiden from Mortal Kombat?
Oh, I only know the animated one. I don't think I've seen a Christopher Lambert one. I'll try to look into it.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 50 bits. What are your thoughts on Ned Beatty's character in the Superman movies? Do you find him annoying or funny?
Can it be both? I mean, that's a lot of the humor in the movie. You know, it's kind of like the Spider-Man movie. It's like, yeah, this is just kind of part of the style, but it's fun, and I like it because you know that's a legit, serious, brilliant actor, and you just see him fumbling over stuff like he's just the dumb sidekick, and that alone really makes me laugh because if you see him like in something like Deliverance or God in Roseanne, he's like I think John Goodman's father in that, and he's just like creepily good in it. And then you just see him as like this bumbling guy in there. It's kind of fun.
All right, and that's all the bit messages. So we have some time
Nice.
for some highlighted messages. Love when that happens.
Do it.
I know a guy says, since you reviewed Fantastic Mr. Fox, would you review The Isle of Dogs?
I want to see that. I haven't seen that one yet, so I will try my best to get to that.
Luke the Boss says, you know what's messed up with Antonio saying that Tom Holland should play Zorro? It seems to reinforce the idea that there is a colorism problem within the Spanish/Latino community. As someone who's Latino myself, it kind of hurt to hear him say that because we have treated him like an honorary Latino for years, and yet he just immediately suggested a white guy for the role.
It's a weird choice.
Really weird choice.
You know, I'll say even if you take the race out of it, it's still a weird choice. Even if he was like Latino or Mexican or whatever, it's just like that's still a weird choice. Nothing about him screams Zorro at all. So I don't know. It's still so funny to me. I can't see past the comedy of what a weird choice it is, but I probably agree with you, honestly.
J Star Otaku says, for next year's Disney-cember, you could always review the live-action Disney Channel sitcoms. Much like the DComs, they're also aimed at the generation below you.
I mean, I guess I do TV shows. I'd have to do that. Maybe that'd be like the thing to add, but I don't know. How many good ones are there? I did see the Waverly Place movie, and I thought that was pretty fun. So, like, maybe the show would be okay, but I don't know how many I want to sit through.
Bernsey, thank you for the 50 bits. Brendan Fraser and Nick Cage have to be in a movie together. I loved Ned Beatty and Gene Hackman in Superman 2. They were fun to watch.
Yeah, well, he's not in Superman too much either. So, yeah, but he made it count. Yeah, man, Brendan Fraser now and Nicolas Cage now in a movie. I love the shit out of that. Yeah, well, let's see it. And maybe they'll be in Mario too. They'll be the voices.
Matt Gamer says, hey, Doug, tomorrow is December. You know what that means.
Christmas! Oh, and Disney-cember. I don't know. Give me a lot of things now. I'm busy around this time.
Elite Gamer says, hello, Doug and Heather. I was just curious on your thoughts on the new Avatar Way of Water movie, and if you had the chance to visit a planet like Pandora with the whole piloting Avatar thing. Also, before I forget, did you ever see the original Ghost in the Shell? And I hope you both had a great Thanksgiving.
I saw Ghost in the Shell years ago.
I like Ghost in a Shell.
And I didn't follow it. I didn't think it was bad. I just literally couldn't follow it. And for some reason, I've never put it on again to see the master. Because everybody says it's a masterpiece, and I believe them.
It's great.
Yeah, so I have to give it another chance. I have not been to Pandora yet in Disney, but
it's so cool.
It looks.
It's
really
actually
cool.
pretty cool. And I mean, we watched Avatar before we went, like literally 2 weeks before we went. So I think that was good because then we were like, oh, look, the floating islands. Oh, look. Like, it's actually really cool. I didn't want to think it was so cool, but I was like, dang. And it had some of the best food in any of the Disney areas that we ate in. The food was really good in the Pandora area. I feel like in the newer areas, they're really up in their food because it was the food was really good in Galaxy's Edge as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because if you want good food, you had to make like a reservation somewhere.
Like the cafeteria in Pandora. Just cafeteria in Pandora was great.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Last bits for tonight. Doug, if you truly love us, next Disney-cember, you will talk about The Middle, the ABC sitcom.
But then I'd have to watch The Middle. I don't know. Maybe it got better, but the little bit I saw, it just looked like a very clear Malcolm in the Middle knockoff that just wasn't funny. So I don't know. Maybe it got better. Who knows?
Lord R. Wolfen says, what are your thoughts on Princess Peach in the Super Mario Bros. Movie? Has she changed your thoughts on the character?
I mean, I haven't seen the movie yet. I was saying it'll be nice to give her more of a character, and it does kind of make sense to have Luigi be the one being saved because that match. And again, she didn't have much to do, in there. I mean, it's always kind of funny, just it's just so dainty, and but that's like the whole character. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it's kind of like saying, what's the Mario character gonna be like? He's like, oh, he's chipper, but what else do we know? So it'll be interesting to see what they add with all those characters.
Alexander, thank you for the 50 bits. My top 3 favorite your top 3 favorite John Goodman performances.
Oh man, okay. Well, Walter's got to be up there. I'll say Dan from Roseanne. Um, let's say Barton Fink. I don't know. I don't get that movie or that performance, but I love it.
Ellen, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, did you see the trailer for 80 for Brady? I would love you to review it. I'm a huge Tom Brady fan.
Oh, Rob wouldn't like that. He is not a big Tom Brady fan. I don't know much about sports, so probably not.
And this will have to be the last one. Mumra says, hi, Doug, just got here. Thoughts on the Wednesday series?
I'm a little over halfway through it. When it's Addams Family or Harry Potter, I think it's okay. When it's Riverdale, I don't get into it.
All right, cool. Well, that does it for us. Thank you all so much for joining us here today. As usual, we super appreciate you being here. We do have content here 6 days a week, so come on back. Tomorrow, Tamara will be here. Friday, actually, there's no Malcolm stream in the afternoon, but Doug's going to be playing a new game on Friday, so come on back, hang out with us. And Saturday, we actually have Awesome Comics and Coffee. What? I know it's been a month. It has been a month, but there's actually Awesome Comics and Coffee on Saturday. So come on back, hang out with us. We will be here 6 days a week. So hope to see you all soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We are going to go raid Tamra, and we will see you all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. 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 Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye.